You're nobody till somebody loves.
Welcome to another episode of Nobody's Talking Politics. This is what now, our fourth episode. With us today we have, well, Tracy returns once again.
Hi.
And on our liberal side of the agenda, we have...
Oh, I wouldn't say liberal, more independent, but...
More independent,
yeah.
Okay. That's become known as the liberal chair.
I guess.
We're going to leave it open in case nobody showed up, right?
Right.
Like Clint Eastwood.
Unfortunately, it's the right side, so you're on the right.
Yeah.
For once. So. But that's Rob James. Welcome.
Oh.
And in our center chair, the Paul Lynn chair, I guess we'll call this.
Paul
Lynn. That's for you younger people.
Well.
This is Norma Ferretti. Welcome. So, now you two know each other.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah, we're actually really good friends. You would never know that I want to kill him sometimes.
Right. How long have you known each other?
A couple of years now,
Yeah, a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what do you do if you don't mind?
DJ, business owner,
It's great.
among other things, artist, producer, I do a lot of different things.
Great. And well, we know
We know all about me.
you.
Yeah.
Watch the old shows, you'll find out.
Oh wait, can I make a little public service announcement?
Absolutely.
I just want to challenge any of Gerry's liberal friends that are afraid to face me but have the big Facebook muscles. I challenge all of you to a duel. So come on and face me. I'll take all you on. So there. So,
And I'll be here to moderate. That's
All
what
right.
I do. And not get involved.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
I want Trump for president. Don't you dare hit me.
Never.
That would be nice.
And that's my story right now.
That's it. That's all you're willing to share at this point.
I
Okay,
have.
That's a start. Anyway, we're going to try something a
He's
little
not kidding.
different today because we've talked, and Tracy knows, we get going and talking about things, and it's 3 hours later, and we're still talking. But we're going to try and talk about topics today like they do on Fox News or whatever, at 10 minutes, and let's talk about it and see if we can make headway.
Who's going to be one?
Who's going to be Juan?
She's thinking of Juan, what's his face from
The Five.
Oh, we're the four. We don't have
We have a Rob.
All right, so we'll start with let's start with Bernie, because we don't talk much about Bernie on this show, and we're gonna forget about Bernie soon. So,
I hope not.
He's as relevant as pantyhose in the summertime. Come on.
We'll see.
Please.
We'll see. He's not done yet.
what exactly is the status of Bernie Sanders right now?
Used car salesman.
He's kind of stepping aside a little bit, letting Hillary do her thing, but he hasn't left out that he might run independent. So the only reason why he's not running independent is because it would possibly split the Democratic Party and give Trump a little bit of edge in that way. So he doesn't want to do that. So that's why he's kind of laying back. He's seeing where things go with Hillary. But he might run independent and flip it on everybody.
And I do give Democrats a little more credit in that regard, because the Republicans are splitting each other all over the place
Yeah,
and fighting
they're not
amongst
looking
themselves.
good right now.
You guys get in line behind whoever.
Well, we don't have a George Soros calling the shots.
And I think a lot of his media lies and media manipulation as well. I don't think it's as bad as they say it is.
in the Republican.
Right,
Definitely.
they're making it, yeah. Because if Reince Priebus, the chairman of the RNC, is coming out hard for Trump, I find it hard to believe that things are as bad as the media
I
is
agree.
portraying it to be.
Tell me what it is about Bernie Sanders that has you so enamored of him.
I like that he's independent. He's not taking corporate money. He's like she
Taking
says.
Soros money.
No, he's not actually.
Well,
You got the wrong guy. in
Let
that one.
him.
Bernie doesn't.
finish
Bernie
here,
doesn't take
so
corporate
we-
money. Bernie doesn't take. He only takes the largest amount that you're allowed to be donated from personal. From person to person. Those are the only donations he takes. He doesn't take big contributions.
Right.
Why don't you like Trump? Because he's self-funded.
Trump's a maniac. He has no
He didn't get
experience.
to be a billionaire by being a maniac.
He's not a billionaire. That's not true.
Yes, he is.
No,
He's
he's not.
worth $10
No, he's
billion.
not. His campaign is
Media.
broke right now. He's
That's
been
also
sifting money.
not.
no. That's also media
He's not a
fabrication.
billionaire. He's not
What does
a
it
billionaire.
mean when you say he has no experience?
He has no political experience. He's never run any office in anywhere.
Well, we have an
he
awful
ran
lot.
a business.
A lot
so
of
what?
them with political experience, and look what they've done.
Well, listen, America is not a business, it's a country. Okay,
You
so
can
there's
run it like
things.
a business.
There's things. No, because you have to
can.
be political and you have to deal with other countries and you know
But
he has
right.
no experience in
Right.
that
But can
area.
you name one bill that Bernie has his name on that's actually benefited America?
No.
Because I can't.
No,
Hmm.
there is none.
Exactly. So all of his years in office, what did that amount to? Nothing except taking taxpayer money. I mean, really, for a salary. He doesn't have his name on any bills that I know of. That
What I really want in a president is somebody with the experience of being able to run a business, but also the political experience. And I'll admit, Trump is not good at this. That's what my concerns are, is him and the way he speaks to people and the way he might speak
That's
to
all
foreign
right.
leaders
And
and
he's
everything.
going to pick the right people around him. If he picks somebody like Newt, he's picking
Newt.
the best one in Washington. There is no one better than
But again, at your, can I use the word age? I'm gonna use
At
the
my
word
age,
right.
yes, I'm 83 years old.
God bless.
At your age, you look at someone like Newt in a more objective way.
No, I look at
Well,
him for what he is.
Yes,
He's a brain.
but in this political climate we live in right now, we have to attract young people, and young people look at Newt as an old man.
But I'm only 23, and I think Newt is. What are you laughing for? And I love Newt too.
Right, I do too. But look what we're hosting here.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
We're not
the young
typical,
voters are
we're
going to
not-
look at. They respond to Instagrams and pictures and 2-second messages.
But the
and
young people are responding to the maniac with the white hair. What's his name?
That's because he's giving them stuff. Everybody, all of them will respond to someone who's
But
going to give
they're
them
not
stuff.
what are they going to give? These people have no brains. Nothing is free. Nothing
But they
in the
don't.
world
They don't
is
understand
free.
that, so that's why they're
Well,
responding.
then let
yes,
them all vote for
if
that.
Newt Gingrich turned around and said, "We'll give you free stuff," they start paying attention to him too. But if he's going to start saying all the right things, they're not going. They don't have an attention span. They have an attention span of, "Oh, you're going to pay for
Well,
college."
that's
you're going
why
to do
I
this, you're gonna...
said Trump with Gingrich and people like him around him. He doesn't have to get the experience in a day. He will grow into the job, surrounded by people who know the business.
I have to
He needs
say,
more than Newt.
I
He's going to have a lot more than Newt.
I have to say, this is why I respect Rob in a way, even though I think his opinions and who he supports is just wacky. At least he can speak intelligently on it, because most of the kids that I come into contact with on a daily basis, oh, feel the burn, feel the burn. Well,
They don't
what
know
does he
what they're
want?
talking
They have
about.
no idea. They just think it's so cool. They jumped on the Bernie
No
bandwagon
clue. They have no
because
clue.
they love saying "feel the burn." They like the bumper stickers. It's what everybody in their college wears. They can't intelligently talk about what he stands for or represents. At least Rob
They
can.
don't know who
Trump
the
gets
father
those
of the
too.
country
Trump gets
is.
those too. It's not just Bernie. All politics get those.
They
People that
have-
jump on it. You know,
True.
Politicians
Everyone
get
wants to be on a winning team.
They asked
Yeah.
these college people the other day, who was the father of our country? They had no clue.
That's a failure in our education system.
No clue.
So you want to talk about getting
Right,
free
but my
stuff?
point
Let's
is
fix
they're
that
getting
free
these
stuff.
people
And you
out
like
to vote
socialism,
more.
isn't school socialist?
In
School
this,
is socialism.
but
yes.
the young people are coming out and voting more.
hmm
There's
He's
shows like the
definitely
Daily
attracting
Shows and
new
all
voters.
these political talk shows and comedies. You know, Bill Maher and all
guarantee
these.
you if
They
you-
get a lot of their news
If we have
from
a
those
storm
sources.
of any kind on election day, those kids are going to be in their dorms listening with things in their ears to music.
Right, they're not listening, but they're getting those votes out.
They're not going to come out to vote.
How is Trump going to get the votes of the young people? How is he going to pull from the youth? If he has some old gray-haired man who I think is a genius, I actually think he's one of the smartest and, you know, the best person to have at his side.
I mean, if Hillary was smart, she would take Bernie or Elizabeth Warren as her VP choice. I mean, either way, I'd want to kill myself if they got into
Oh,
the
God.
White House, especially
I-
Elizabeth Warren.
Right, I would
I
much
can't-
rather see
Yeah,
Bernie.
so would I.
Elizabeth
At least
Warren
Bernie's
makes
pleasant.
makes my
he's a little
skin crawl.
kooky.
She's-
Me too.
Yep.
You know, Bernie's like the kooky old drunk uncle that you have to apologize to your friends for in advance. Like my drunk
You
uncle
wanna
Bernie's
say-
gonna hit on you. I'm
You want to
sorry.
say, comb your
You
hair.
know.
You posted
But
something today on
she-
Facebook,
oh.
some meme about Trump.
Mm.
And at the end, I read
I'm
who
a
wrote
big
it. It said
Trump
Elizabeth
supporter.
Warren. I
Let me
was
tell
like,
you.
Right, but Elizabeth, it was a quote you put
Mhm.
that Elizabeth Warren said, and I'm like, okay, that's not even credible. to me. I mean,
What did she say? What was the meme?
but here's what
Yeah.
he wrote.
He does all right for
Here's
that.
a quote that
They're
I
all
look at.
narcissistic. I mean.
You look at this quote as if it's like attributed to something. Like
Okay.
every day we learn more about him, and every day it becomes clearer that he is just a small, insecure money grubber who doesn't care about anyone or anything. That doesn't have the Trump name splashed all over it. Every day it becomes clearer that he's a thin-skinned, racist, sexist bully. Every day it becomes clearer that he will never be president of the United States.
I agree with every
And then
word
it
of
says,
it.
Oh.
said by Elizabeth Warren talking about Donald
I
Trump.
agree with every word. Nailed
How's-
it.
But it's just insults. Like we can
Yeah.
throw this stuff
Right.
back and
Yeah, it's
forth all
truth,
day
but
long.
it's
It's not a
insulting.
quote
Yeah.
that
How is
has
that
any.
truth? How is he racist and sexist? Or just take racist, because that's my favorite when people say.
How about all the things he says about
Everybody,
Mexicans?
if
How
you
about all
listen-
the things he says about Muslims? He goes on air and says racist stuff every day.
No, tell me
Every
something
day.
specifically he said about Muslims. It's racist.
Everything. Every time he gets on
Say something
on
that's-
TV, he says.
But say one.
Look, we're going to keep all Muslims out of the country.
No, that's not what
like
he
really.
said.
There's
That's not
1.5
what he
billion
said.
Muslims in this world.
But that's
You
not what he
can't-
said.
They're not all
That's
killing
not
people. You
what he
can't.
said.
He does say that. He says it like
Well,
every
but that's
day.
not racist. I actually saw Rudy Giuliani on.
To say
day.
to put the blanket over all Muslims and say that we're just not going to let Muslims in this country.
No,
That's
no.
insane.
A
That is
temporary
absolutely
ban
insane.
on Muslims
I
coming
don't think
from
anybody should come into this
countries
country without
where
being
there's
vetted.
terroristic activity, known
There's terrorist activity in
activity.
every country, so let's
Well-
get that straight.
Yeah, well, but why are we letting in Syrian refugees when we can't even take care of
Women
our own
and children?
veterans?
Women and
Women
children?
and children.
Yeah, it's mostly
Oh,
women
I'm
and
sorry,
children.
it wasn't a woman in
Not
San
the- not the
Bernardino
crowd I
that
saw.
was
They
shooting
look
Let me
at
ask
people.
you a
the
Was
question.
buses.
it?
If it was a fact that 100% of Muslims wanted to come here and kill us, 100%, would you keep them out?
100%. Oh, absolutely. I
But
mean,
then
100%.
you wouldn't be doing it.
Well,
You wouldn't be doing it as a racist. You'd be doing it to protect us. So that percentage would qualify you to say keep them out. We just have a different percentage.
I guess if you want to look at it that way,
racist.
it's an
not
odd
based
way of
on
looking at
because
things.
of who
but-
you are. It's based on what a percentage of them might do to us.
Right, but there's
So that's not
Muslims in this
racist.
country. 1.5 million Muslims
We're not
in this
saying
country.
to-
We're going to kick them
If-
out
No,
because
that's not
Muslims.
what we're
all of
saying.
So you say all Muslims want to
If
kill
all
us?
of this horror went
that
away,
what it is?
if all of this horror went away, he wouldn't be saying keep them out.
That's why they have to be vetted, because all of them are not bad.
They are
You got-
vetted. They actually go
No,
through
no,
a
no.
2-year
When
process
you're
to get in this country.
FBI, no, that is bull.
That's
how
not
come-
bullshit.
we
They go
have
through
th-
5
we have
different
3,000
bureaucracies
Syrian
to get approved
refugees.
here.
3,000 Syrian refugees in the last 3 weeks came in this country. Obama's fast tracking them in here. And our own FBI director, James Comey, says we cannot vet them with 100% accuracy. So why are they coming in? Take care of our veterans, take care of our poor. We have citizens here in the United States that need our help. These people, sorry, but too freaking bad. That's the way I feel, and I'm mad. Sorry.
Do you disagree with that?
I agree and disagree. I think this country is a great place to be, and if we could help people, why not? That's what this country is founded
We
on.
have to help.
And you're not
our-
going to go too far to see the Statue of Liberty to remind you what
But
this
we have
country is
to- we
about
have to-
and what it was founded on.
We have to help our people, our citizens.
The whole world are our people.
No,
No,
they're
that's
not.
not true. Give me
No,
a
They're
break.
not.
Come
We're
on,
all human
we've got
beings.
people in
We're all
our own
human
country
beings.
starving, and we're feeding all these illegals. It's ridiculous.
In theory,
Take care of your own.
I agree
Right.
with
I think
you.
we all, in a human
in
perspective,
a Christmas Carol kind of mentality.
No, but-
Like it's nice to help everybody, but
If
you
you
have
can,
to have
and
the
we can.
resources. You also have to have, take away the factor that
Oh,
some
we
of
certainly
them,
have resources to spend trillions of dollars on wars. When you think it'd be better to spend it helping people?
Can we do that? Can we say, okay, let's not spend
Yeah, we could.
money on wars
we could.
and we'll use it
But
to
wars
help
make
people?
money. Helping people doesn't.
Well, I don't think we want to be at war.
No.
Obama certainly doesn't want.
Well, we wouldn't be at war if we were meddling
No,
in
he
other
wants to
countries'
play
affairs.
golf, and he wants.
How about
But
that
you
one?
want to take in every person from every country.
Well,
Remember,
we're taking
you're,
every
you're
person in every
Chris
country.
Kringle
but
over here.
You know what?
wanna-
When there's problems around the world, who do they send? Us. Who always takes care of it? Us, because we do the right thing. That's what this country's about. We do the right thing. We
Take
help
care
people
of
when they
taking-
need it.
yeah.
We need to take care of our citizens.
Yeah, that's right,
Of
that's
our
the right
people.
thing.
Absolutely, and we
Our
do,
people are
to a
hungry.
point.
Our people
country's
don't
not
have
in
jobs.
great shape. Our economy is not in great shape.
Right. Well, the world is definitely going
That's
to slow
putting it
down, but
very
we're moving in the right
mildly.
direction.
Our economy is rotten. It's,
Well,
it's
again,
disgusting.
it depends on who you listen to. The other side will say,
Check
No,
the
the
statistics
other
on
side,
that. I don't
record
see that to be
poverty.
What are
true.
they going to say?
Record poverty, record number of people on food stamps, record number of people getting other assistance in this country.
Ridiculous.
Well, actually, most of that is attributed to the fact that our population is getting older. It's more people going on social programs like Social
And
Security.
you say you want to help all these other countries and all these other people coming here. Why are they coming here?
Because where they live is crap, pretty much.
So we should
They're
just
getting
take,
a bad deal.
We should just take.
No, we can't take
you don't want us to
everybody.
meddle in their affairs, so they're crap. They're coming here, taking our resources. So we
I'm
can't.
not saying let everybody in.
You know what? I don't
How
know
about
what
in
they
the
settled.
30s when they turned away Jews from Germany? They were
That's what
trying
I'm
to get away
saying.
from
Like
Hitler.
there was, I
They
mean,
did that too, and that
we've
was
done
wrong.
it.
But
We've
people
done
trying to
it.
get away.
Millions of people, all those people died. All those people died to
But
be
those
turned away.
people weren't. You know what? It was a different time. We're fighting a different enemy. We're fighting people who
Right.
live like it's the 3rd century BC.
Exactly.
They treat women horribly. They treat gays horribly. So I don't understand why like I said, they live like it's the 3rd century, and I don't understand why people don't see that.
There is a
I agree
confusion
with
on
that.
the
They
left.
do.
There is
They
a
do.
confusion on the left to embrace the Muslims and all who come here, but they're the same people, the same religion, the same group that is against homosexuality, and there's a conflict there to me. Like this guy who shot everybody in Orlando, he targeted homosexuals, okay? But yet we're protecting the fact that he's got this radical Islamic ISIS connection. Why? Why are we protecting that?
He
Why?
threw that out for smoke. The reason why he did it was because he was repressed, and he was gay, and he was repressed, and he was also a self-hater. He hated himself, and he wanted to go in there and kill those people.
So you
He
don't
targeted
think-
that
It's
gay
not
club.
a fact. It's
He
not a
frequented
fact.
that
It's
place.
not
That
a
is
fact.
that is
Gay?
fact.
It's not a fact.
He was on Grindr. He
Who
was in
said
that.
he
He was
was
constantly.
gay?
He was on
That
Grindr.
came
You guys
out
watch
of,
the
that
news?
came out of the dust.
He was gay.
Yeah, he
Well,
was
no,
on Grindr.
he was
Hold
not
on.
gay.
He picked that club because he was there almost on a weekly basis.
No, no, no.
Because he
He
was
knew a lot of
casing, he
those
was
people.
casing a
He knew-
joint.
He knew a lot of the people
Yeah.
who had been there before.
Yes,
Not on a
absolutely.
weekly basis, and there was no evidence
He was
that
there
he was gay.
regularly. He was a regular. He was on
That's not
Grindr. There's
He
people
was on
coming
Grindr
out
with
that
people.
say that
He
they were
was
with
Checking
him.
out the exits and
So
the
you
doors.
think that this guy went and shot 100 people?
He was crazy.
He massacred
crazy.
Well, that
The
was
reason why
crazy.
he's crazy.
And
He was
okay,
crazy.
and in his
The
mind,
reason why he's
I'm
crazy
gonna
because his
make
father
him think-
hated gays.
So he's going to make
and he
him
was
think-
gay. He couldn't come out. His own wife said he was gay.
That was his ex-wife.
And the whole
ex-wife,
ISIS
exactly.
thing is a smokescreen.
That was not his wife.
I
that
believe
was
so,
his
yeah.
ex-wife.
Why did the news cover it up? Why
Ex-wives
did the
He
news?
say a lot
got
of
on the
things.
phone and he said he's doing it for ISIS because he didn't want people to know he's gay.
But he went over and trained over in, I think it was Saudi Arabia or Syria, one of the
Well, listen,
countries.
he's not completely innocent of that stuff, but the reason why he went, listen, to go in and kill 50 people, wound another 100, you got to be crazy.
Well, we
okay?
all can
So
agree
you're
gotta be
with
accepting
crazy.
of
that.
the fact
That's
that
why he was crazy.
So why are you accepting that fact, but you're not accepting the words that came out of his mouth on the telephone?
Do you think the ISIS killers are all crazy? Or are they evil?
Yeah, they're crazy too.
They're evil.
They're crazy.
They're
But answer that
evil
question.
to the core.
Why are you saying this was a smokescreen? He said a bunch of things on those phone calls.
Because he didn't want to get outed that he was gay. He was gay. He was gay and crazy.
Yeah,
Because
but
his
you're
father,
talking
he
like
couldn't
that's
come
fact.
out.
Wait a minute, this guy
It is
put
fact.
himself on gay
It's all
websites.
come out.
It-
I
it-
watch
He
every
put,
day.
if he
It
didn't
did
want to
come out as
be
fact.
outed that he was gay, he would have stayed home. He
Right.
went out and shot a bunch of people
Because
in
he
the
was
name of
crazy.
Allah.
Yes,
and you're
because
saying
he
he
was crazy.
said those things to
He was
hide
a
the fact that he
self-hating
was
gay
gay.
man.
No, that's
Yes.
nonsense.
There's
That's
no
nonsense.
doubt this guy
That's
was
not
crazy.
true. Nonsense.
But his ties and beliefs were pretty clearly stated. And there's no reason to say it was a smokescreen or a cover.
Back on 9/11,
Alright, first of all,
when he
if he
was
was
in
any
middle
real
school,
Muslim,
he was
he'd be peaceful.
celebrating. He was celebrating 9/11.
Right.
You know, he's got a history
I didn't
of
say that he
radical
wasn't
Islamic
into that
terror.
stuff, but that's not why he went crazy and decided to kill 50 people.
Look, the gay thing is like it has not been proven. In fact, the guys that he talked with on Grindr, he didn't have any relationship with them. It was hi,
How do you know
hi,
that?
hi, because they came out. Because one of the
If you're
guys
on
came out.
Grindr, something's going on.
No, one of
you're
the guys
probably
came out.
gay.
I
No,
think
you
it
know.
would come out.
Straight
if you
guys
ever
are not
had
on
male
Grindr. Straight guys are not in gay
Come
clubs.
on.
All right, but
Wasn't
he's
gay.
not. All right, he's not stupid because he obviously planned his coordinated attack. So if he's trying to like hide his gayness, doesn't he know that they're going to trace all of his cell phone records, all of his correspondence online?
Yeah,
that it
that's
was
what they're
gonna-
doing, and that's what's coming
and by the
out.
way,
No,
I don't
there's
really
never
know
a
what
link.
Grindr is, but I can take a guess.
It's a gay meetup website. It's like
Okay,
Tinder, but for
but-
gay men.
As an investigator, which is what I do for a living,
Yeah.
people could go on a website like that because they're gay.
Yeah.
He could also be a psychotic who hates gays.
Right.
And it's
So
like
he's learning
fueling
about
them
what's
up.
going
Which is
on,
what
looking
what
where
I
they
think.
hang out.
Which
He
is
could be
what
doing
he
that.
was.
That's not what people know.
That's
I'm saying.
definitely
Right,
Are you guys really arguing for him to be
No,
straight?
I'm saying, I'm saying I don't really care whether the guy's gay or straight.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm
The
saying
guy went
that
and shot a
was
bunch of people.
part of his motive, why he was crazy. That's what I'm
He
saying.
wasn't crazy. He was
Uh,
a murderer.
Well,
Shooting
you have to be crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to be crazy to
So that
murder
all of
50
ISIS,
people. Sane
they
people
were
don't
all
do that.
Crazy?
They're evil.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
They're made crazy by
They're evil. There's a
religion.
difference between sick people and evil.
Well, we don't
There's
know
a
that
big
to be true.
difference.
There's
Oh,
something
yes.
in the brain
Oh,
that
yes.
makes people
There's a
do
big
evil
He's
stuff.
got it, but he had a history of a lot of disturbed behavior, and
Yeah, it's
learning-
crazy.
The fact that his father talk about vetting people coming
Another
in this country,
crazy guy.
Is
His
but we
father.
let him in.
Yeah.
We let
Right,
him
he's
in
crazy
this
too.
country.
Right.
Here, this is the terrorist test. Are you a terrorist? Check yes or no. No.
Listen,
That's
here's
a terrorist
a scenario
test to get in
for
this
you.
country.
A guy, a Muslim, growing up gay, who grows up in a house where his father hates gay men, and a religion that says death to gay people. He's growing up. He's gay.
Why
Like,
are you
of
okay
course
with
it's
this?
I'm not okay with it. He's crazy. I
But you
want to
let them in this
I'm just saying,
country.
this is his motivation. This is the way he grew up. You got to see the picture.
How
the
did his
picture
father
there.
get in this country to begin with? If Donald Trump was president, his father would never have gotten in. We would never have had this nutbag. Obviously, this guy learned this level of hate from somebody. He learned it from his father. His father,
His father and
was
his crazy
a
religion,
Taliban.
yeah.
He was, but you want to let people with this crazy religion
I never
into
said
the
that.
country.
I never said that.
Yeah, but the
The
We have a
religion
vetting-
does
we have-
basically
we have a
Wait a
vetting
minute
process.
now.
We
This
do.
Muslim religion is not all crazy.
It's not.
No,
There
they're
are
not.
a lot
They're not.
of
It's
Muslim people.
There are a lot of
that
Some
are
people that
people,
take
lovely
words out of
people.
context.
Who was more of a gentleman and a fine, loving father and family man than Muhammad Ali?
The Quran says
Lots
kill
of horrible
gays,
things.
and guess what?
Right.
So does the Bible. The difference
No, it
is,
doesn't.
yes,
no,
it does.
you're talking about the
Where?
Old
Look it up.
Testament, which
Where?
Look it up.
Actually,
He's
no.
talking
we-
I don't know exactly where, but look
Leviticus.
it up.
It
It also
can
says
be
to stone
interpretive.
people, stone
It's
adulterers
the Old
to death
Testament.
in the Quran and in the Bible. Look it up.
It's the Old Testament. No Catholic follows
It's in
the Old
there.
Testament.
Okay, but
no
it's in
Catholic
there.
follows
It's
the
in
Old
there.
Testament.
No Christian.
Of course, we don't follow because we're sane.
We follow the New Testament, what Jesus taught us, which was to love everybody no matter
Exactly,
what.
because and you're saying that
Turn
they
the
preach
other
love, but both things are in both books, so you can't say it's not because it is.
that it was that.
I was just
clear.
watching the
It
show.
wasn't
on
as
CNN
interpretive.
yesterday.
It wasn't.
It's called Why They Hate Us, and this is where they go into this, where they compare the Bible and the Quran. It's a lot of the same things in there. I mean, it's the same God. They're both praying to the same God, God Abraham. The Quran is basically a continuation on the Old Testament. The first part of their book is the Old Testament.
First of all, you know
they
how
pray to the same
Islam
God.
You know, Muhammad was
A prophet
how
like
about-
Jesus,
No, he
apparently.
wasn't. Well,
Jesus
in
was
my
not a
opinion,
prophet. Jesus
from
is the
from
Son
what
of God.
from what I've studied about Islam, and like I said, I'm not putting down Islam because I know plenty of Islamic people that are wonderful people. However, it is well known that Muhammad founded this religion under the rules to war and to conquer the Middle East. And that's exactly what he did. And when he got enough followers and he got his little army, he went into all these battles all over the Middle East. So it was a religion that was founded in basically violence and hatred, really. If you want to look at the history of Islam and the history of Muhammad, I mean, it's not like Jesus on the Mount, like, taking a prostitute and saying, hey, you're redeemed now, here, let me wash away your sins. That's nice.
My point
he didn't
being
wage
is that
war.
you could take the words out of either book and twist them in your own way. There's been plenty of wrong done in the name of Christianity.
Absolutely.
Right.
We'll go back to the
And the
Crusades,
same thing
sure.
with the Quran and percentage of Muslims. It's not all Christians that do bad things. It's not all Muslims that do bad things. It's people taking the words out of an old book, twisting it to their advantage for whatever agenda
Right,
they
but
want to get
I'm
through.
a Christian. If Christians start blowing up buildings, I don't want any more of them coming here.
Exactly.
Yeah, but there are a few crazy ones out there that twist the words in there.
Yeah, you keep
Right,
using
but
the
this
word
country was
crazy like
founded on-
everything is
Anyone who takes a passage out of the Bible or the Quran and decides it's okay to kill people is crazy. That's what I'm saying.
But ISIS has waged
your
jihad.
mind,
My
they're
opinion,
crazy.
they're crazy. Absolutely. God,
In their
killing people
mind,
is
they're
crazy.
just following their religion.
Listen,
Exactly. Following
You-
religion
well,
and
you
killing
can say
people to
anybody
me
who
is
believes in in Adam and Eve is crazy.
If we had a strong
You know.
president in the White House that wasn't going to take anybody's shit and say, all right, we're declaring war on you, ISIS, we have to make it an embarrassment to join ISIS. Right now, ISIS is perceived as winning, and they're using all of these attacks
They
as
are winning.
propaganda. You're right, they are winning, and they are causing fear throughout the whole world. So we need to make it an embarrassment to join ISIS, and the whole world needs to unite in this front. France, Belgium, everybody. We have to get together and make it an embarrassment. We have to decimate them. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen with
I agree with
this
that.
guy in the White House, and it's certainly not going to happen with Hillary Clinton, which is going to be more of the same. She's one of the reasons we have ISIS right now. Her policies with
When
Obama.
Trump gets in, ISIS will go down.
Well,
Trust me.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, we hope. You know,
I know. I
mean,
think he's not. He's true to his word. I don't think he doesn't like to go down wrong. He wants to do what he says he's going to do, and I think he's going to do it.
One thing about Trump that I really like is he doesn't need to be doing this. He's doing it because he really thinks he could do a better job. He's not a
And
trained
he will.
politician, so he doesn't have the vernacular that a politician. He's not slick, and he makes a lot of mistakes. God knows he's frustrating to support sometimes. However, he's doing it out of love of country, and that's something that I don't think most people can dispute. I don't think he's doing it. I mean, I know you think it's like a reality
I think he's
show.
doing that out of the love of his own Trump name. That's what I think.
But
No,
he's
he doesn't-
already
I'll be
got
surprised
so
if he
much
doesn't drop
money.
out.
I do think there's a part
Drop
of him
out.
that is that. I
You
really
Can't go
do.
all the way.
I mean,
This
your
is all
dreams.
about selling
No, I
his
don't
name.
agree.
In your
This
dreams.
is what he does.
Maybe
This is
that's
what he
what
does.
you want, but you're not going to get
I'm
it.
sure that Trump, being the guy that he is, and how his name is all over the place, and big block letters on all the buildings when he's president, there's a certain pride in himself that he's going to have.
I'll
And I don't really, I don't really,
narcissistic.
right.
I'll give Trump
exactly.
They're
this.
all narcissistic.
You have to accept it. It's like saying an actor is narcissistic. He's on stage. The
They're
audience
all
is
of them
loving him.
are,
Of
right.
course, there's a part of him
Right.
Listen,
that
this
is
is
ego.
my feeling
There's
of
a part
Trump. I
all
don't think
of us
Trump's
that's
all
ego.
bad. I think Trump is an absolute genius in
Right.
marketing and promotion.
With an
He's
ego.
an absolute genius.
He has
That's
a
what he
huge
does.
ego.
That's what he does.
Sure, he brands
Obama
people.
doesn't have an ego?
But forget about that for a second. Just the people that criticize Trump because he's all about Trump and blah blah. Yes, he's got an ego.
Because
Let's accept that
He's a
and put it
genius
aside.
at marketing and promotion. That's what he does. The way he speaks, when you listen to him speak, he's actually using selling techniques every time he talks. If you know about these selling techniques, you
Right.
see it. I've
Yeah,
read
but
books
that's
on
why
it.
so
many-
I see
but
him
so
doing
many
it. He
people hate
brands
him.
everything. He
Right.
never says Hillary
Right.
alone. He'll say
Hillary.
evil crooked.
Right, but a lot-
Everything has a brand with
Right.
it. It's,
But everybody
he's a
hates him
genius
for
in
that.
way.
You have to look
He's a
past
genius.
But look past it and ask yourself who's going to do the right thing by the country once elected. And I have asked a lot of people to tell me what Hillary Clinton's going to. She goes on television every single day and is talking. Now she's talking bad about Trump. She doesn't talk anything about policy or what she's going to do. You never hear her talk about the
No,
Orlando
because
shooting. You never hear her talk about anything.
I don't
It will
disagree.
be-
Trump says things and then he puts
It
his
will
foot in
be
his mouth.
business
This
as
woman
usual.
says nothing.
But
She's
you know
got
what?
tact.
You know
I'll
what
give
she
her
is?
that.
She's a woman, and people are going to vote for her because she's a woman. But
Well, she does have experience. She was a senator and she was a secretary
And
of
she's-
state.
and she's
so she
done-
does
she-
have some
I don't
She
want.
did
functions.
I don't want
nothing.
experience in that anymore.
And she
In
did
foreign
nothing
policy?
as a
Yeah.
senator.
No, I
You
don't
need
want experience
experience
in.
in that.
I want experience in turning this country around economically. I want jobs to come here. I want, I want someone who's going to handle the terrorism, the safety of this country. That's what
And
I
the
want. I don't see
congressman and the
anything.
I think
senator.
everybody wants that.
But I don't see anything in this
Is Trump going to
woman.
deliver that? I doubt
So
it.
why do you want a woman who's experienced as a politician and not a business person? This is
You
maybe
need
it's a
both,
country
really.
and not a business.
Both is nice.
But we need the economy to turn around. Would you, if you want economics to turn around, you're going to put in a politician or a businessman?
Well, let's go back to the
Which would you
economic
put
thing
in?
for a minute. You keep saying how bad the country is. I mean, look, things have been going up for the last 8 years, so I'm not seeing
Yeah,
that.
like my
I talked to guys in the construction
my
business.
insurance premiums. You're right. A lot in food.
Listen,
and
Obamacare's half of it's a
and-
nightmare. I do agree with
You're
that.
in
Okay.
business. Is your business
Absolutely.
doing better now?
Absolutely, and everybody I talked to is doing better over the last 8 years.
You do it-
Everybody. My home value's gone up. I'm making money.
I think you.
Every guy in the construction.
Where do
I told
you
you
I
live?
want
guys
to
this.
live where he lives.
Yeah.
Your home
Well, let's-
value-
let's-
Drink what he's
No,
drinking.
listen.
I
If
want
I
to
can
live
get a
where he
word
lives.
in, my litmus test is I have a lot of friends in the construction business. I used to be an electrician. I talk to a lot of guys in the construction business all the time just to see how things are. Just out of my curiosity because I follow these things.
Mhm.
So my best friend in the world since I'm 12 years old is an electrician. And whenever he's slow, the economy's slow. Whenever he's thumping, the economy's doing good. Right now, I can't even see him because he's working every day. Every guy he works with is working every day. All his plumbers and they're all working. Construction is by far the easiest way to really tell how the economy is going. And right now, construction is through the roof. It is absolutely booming. Everybody's working.
No, I don't know why our roads
Look
look
at,
like
look
we're
at
in
the
a
city.
third world
There's 100
country.
cranes up right now. I'm in the city every day. Everywhere you go, there's construction. Everywhere on Long Island, the home values have gone up. Look at your house here. It had to have gone up over the last 8 years because 8 years ago it crashed. I lost $150,000 in equity 8 years ago. Right now, 8 years later, I'm back right where I was before the crash.
I got divorced in 2011. Okay, my house has barely gone up from the appraisal I had in 2007 when I got separated till I just had an appraisal done a month ago. And the realtor contacted me to say, "Oh yeah, things are going up. I want to do an appraisal on your house." And you know what?
Real estate is definitely up.
It's virtually unchanged. It's virtually unchanged. It went up like minuscule amount. But that hits the news that, oh, houses are up because they didn't do anything for so long.
Well,
the fact that they had this little 3% increase, everybody's jumping up and down like, wow, houses went up. They really haven't.
The GDP in this country, it hasn't even broken the 2% barrier for all of the years that Obama's been in office. In fact, he's going to have the worst
Not
growth
negative, though.
of any. But a country like ours cannot sustain itself. Like, you want to take the world and you want to put your arms around the world and take them all in. We can't.
Well, the whole world has been in a slowdown for the last 15 years, so we're actually doing pretty well compared to most of the rest of the world. We're actually doing probably one of the best. China's slowed
down. I don't know
down.
who you know. I don't
Russia's
know anybody
in the toilet
that's doing
again.
well.
America, our economy is
I haven't
strongest
had
in
a
the world.
raise in about 6 years.
Well, that's a whole nother subject,
Okay.
and you ain't gonna get that with a Republican. I tell you right now.
Oh, give me a
But you're gonna get it with
break.
Bernie?
Republicans
You're gonna have
That's
it with Bernie.
wants to raise the minimum wage.
What is he
That's how we
gonna
get the
do?
economy moving.
Yeah, but
we pay people so they go spend money.
Why should the minimum wage be federal? So that if they get $15 an hour in New York, they're going to get $15.
Because if it was up to corporations, it became people $1. That's the way they are. They're evil. They don't care. They're all about profits.
Then I'm
They
gonna
don't care about
move-
the workers.
Then I'm going to move from New York, where $15 an hour doesn't buy me freaking soap on a rope, and I'm going to move to freaking Arkansas.
If $15
where I
means
live
nothing,
large.
then why not give it to people?
But it makes
If
no
it's not a
sense
big
to
deal.
do it federally. It should be state by state. It should have nothing to do with the federal government at all. Because it's not. It's all relative.
They want to.
Would be better if it was state by state.
It should be.
Agreed, but
And in New York, we
federal's
did
fine
pass
too.
a law.
Either way, make it fun. You know, one general across the board. Let's he can't pay people less than this. The fact that we have to have a law to tell companies that you have to pay people this amount. The fact that we have to make a law.
Who do you know
is
that's
ridiculous.
earning
It's
minimum
just
wage?
irresponsible.
You have
Businesses have to
friends
pay
that are in
for
construction.
insurance.
You have your
Yeah.
own business. She's a teacher. I don't know anybody making minimum wage except kids.
Listen. Well, in our area, we're lucky. We live in an economy on Long Island. It's a little different than the rest of the country. Perfect
Agreed.
example. My
Agreed.
sister lives in Pennsylvania. Okay, and she lives in a small town, and there's really not much else going on in that town except for Walmart. So she doesn't really have any other choice but to work at Walmart. She barely makes ends meet. She's working full time. She's not lazy. She's working 40 hours a week, and she's barely making ends meet. You know what I mean? And that's ridiculous. And it basically, we're subsidizing large corporations that don't want to pay their people what they're worth. If they were paying them, $15 an hour, maybe they wouldn't need, food stamps, and maybe
Listen,
they wouldn't need welfare
if you're
because
willing
they're getting
to
a
work,
decent wage.
I think you should make a living
we're
wage.
subsidizing these
However,
large
federal
corporations.
government should have nothing to do with it. I agree with it. If you're not going to be a drain on the system and you're working hard,
Corporations
you
are a
should be
drain on
able.
the system.
You should be able to make a living wage, but the federal government has no business getting involved in a state's issue.
Well, we have to have laws because corporations are not responsible enough to do it on their own. The actual corporations that are doing it on their own are thriving. Look at Costco. Costco is paying their workers, $21 an hour, $22 an hour, full benefits. They are thriving. They're one of the best businesses in the country.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100% on that. Costco
And then you
is a
got
great
Walmart,
company.
which is on the other side, paying their workers the minimum allowed by law. Which that's why we have laws, because if it was up to them, they would pay them less. That
and then if they paid
laws
them
are meant to
more, that you can argue that they would all lose their jobs because the prices would go up and they would not have.
Yeah, that's the
customers.
argument that hasn't had any shred of proof that is the way it is. There are absolutely no numbers to support that.
I think.
There's no numbers to support that. That's never been the case. Anytime
I
the
don't
minimum
know
wage
enough
went
about
up,
it, I'll be
it
honest with
stimulates growth. But that's,
But I mean,
that's the argument.
Walmart is the classic example that all of you guys bring up because we all know
And
Walmart
McDonald's,
pays
they're
people
thrown in
badly.
there too. They're
But
bad.
when we were kids, these were jobs that were entry-level things for kids going through high school and everything. Now they've become jobs for people with children and families.
Well,
and I keep saying this, well, why if they didn't have a good job, why are they having children and families?
Going back to Walmart for a minute, perfect example, like Walmart is a place that when they move into a town, they take over the town. They swallow up all the mom and pop businesses. My sister in Pennsylvania, perfect example. Walmart pretty much gobbled up all the small businesses around there. When they go there, they can't compete against these huge corporations. Well, these little mom and pop stores, they all go out of business. There's nowhere else to shop. There's nowhere else to work. So, for my sister, for example, she's got to go work there, and they're going to pay her what they're going to pay her. They're not going to give her any more money unless there was a law. So, but if she had more money, if she was making $15 an hour instead of $10, maybe she would have more money to spend and actually stimulate the economy. Maybe maybe some of that money goes back into
doesn't pay
Walmart.
everybody minimum wage. As people work harder, they move up, they become
Most
managers, they become
of their workers, management are the people that get more money. Every other worker pretty much gets minimum wage there. And if they get a 20-cent raise after like 2 years or 3 years, she tells me all the time. She's like, oh, there another year, they give me another 25 cents. I'm like, wow, 25 cents. If the minimum wage had actually kept up with inflation and the rest of the economy, it'd be more like $22 to $23.
But
now.
as you know,
15 is still low.
I'm listening to what
You
you're
would
saying, and I'm
think-
not
you would think
completely
he's
against
right.
what he's saying, and
He's
that's
right.
why I've said
But
to
you
you,
would
I'm
think-
not. I would much rather see Bernie than Hillary. Because I
that
have
would
said
be
this-
like
Bernie's the only guy
I've
really
said
fighting
this
for the little
before.
guy.
I
I'm
feel
sorry.
that there's
he is.
things that he says that on a simple level like that, they make some sense.
On a simple level.
But his overall socialist mentality is
when
gonna
you
be, it's gonna
when
be a
you
different
This
wanna-
thing.
country
when you wanna
is
tax
socialist.
someone,
Half
no.
socialist, half capitalist.
You already
Yeah,
admitted.
that's healthy.
Wait,
It's
you
not
already
communist, that's a
admitted that the
different
school
Yeah,
stinks.
right.
The government take over healthcare stinks. Why do you want more government control in your life if everything the government touches turns to crap? I don't understand it. Why do you want more
I
government?
think there's certain things that the government needs to do. We need safety nets out there. We
Do
need.
you think that the politicians should be in office as long as they are? All the senators and congressmen?
No, there should be
No,
time
there
limit.
should
Really?
definitely. I agree with that. There should
Yeah.
But the only thing
No
you're
real
not
politicians.
acknowledging is if Walmart starts to pay people more money,
Yeah.
then more people are going to go, well, let me go work at Walmart and get paid more money, and it's going to take away the motivation for people to create jobs and create
You know what?
businesses.
You know what money is
That-
going to be taken out from Walmart? Their profit margins. Some of their
Forget
profit
about,
margins.
forget about
is gonna go
punishing
down.
Walmart. What about
Okay.
people's motivation? Like this country was founded on people who were entrepreneurs and worked
Right.
hard to do their own thing.
Right.
That's what we need to be encouraging in people, not saying let's give them $30 an hour to work at Walmart.
No one's saying let's pay people for free. We're saying let's give them a wage that they could actually live on. And what my point being is that if it were up to these corporations, they would pay these people nothing. If it was up to these corporations, it'd be like China. They'd be paying people 20 cents an hour, and there's nothing you could do about it. That's why we have these laws in this country.
But you
because
like-
it helps people, it protects people.
You like Bernie, who wants to tax the yayas out of everybody at an immoral rate. I mean, I've heard upwards of 60 to 70% of their income being taxed. That's immoral.
Well,
Where's
the
the
talking
incentive?
points, he never said that.
Where are the? We'll have to cut to footage of
His
that.
whole thing is,
How do you-
and most people that think like me, is that we don't want things for free. That's where you get it wrong. No one's saying we want stuff for free. We just want to have a say in how our tax dollars are spent. The government's already taking your money, and they're taking it, and they're spending it halfway around the world, blowing everybody up, spending $70 billion on stupid airplanes that
I
don't
wish
even
they would,
work.
I wish it would blow people
I agree with
more.
you. It's
Wait,
working.
wait,
Have
can I
some
say
say
that?
how we spend it.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay for Obama and his family to spend not thousands, billions while they're in office on vacations when the country
That's
is
their
in bad
business.
trouble.
No one's
It's
gonna-
their
our
with
money.
our money.
It doesn't. That's what
It's
his own
their
money.
business
Doesn't
without.
do
Oh,
it.
give
It doesn't
me
with-
a
Well,
break.
the
vacations are
financial
Oh my
abuse by the
goodness.
president
His
is a
money.
separate issue.
That's
from-
not true.
But
Yeah, there's $20 million for her to go to Spain on Mrs.
Give
Obama
me a
over
break.
there. It
Give
wasn't
me
even
a
spent
break.
in our
There is
country.
tremendous spending
It wasn't
in the
even
White
spent
House.
in our country.
Well,
But I agree
there's
with
two
what
ways
you
to
said.
look at
Let me
it.
go back to what you were saying
They spend the
before.
money on their own
As-
vacations, but
But
the
your
country
money.
covers
All right,
the
but let's
security
forget about
and
that for
everything
a
else that
second.
goes with it.
You said before that you don't want free stuff because you're a working Bernie supporter. The
Right.
problem is when a guy like this gets into office, he's got too many wacky ideas that are giving free stuff. And there is a tremendous portion of the population that supports Bernie that is not the working Bernie supporter.
Well,
My friend
what
Greg
exactly-
is just like you. He
what
works
exactly do
very
you guys
hard,
think that
and
he
he
wants to
gets
give away for
he gets
free?
very offended when I talk about the free stuff that people are lining up for free phones. People come in with free housing and free food stamps, and this has become a way of life. This has become
There's
something
always going to
where-
be people
where-
that abuse the system,
but
most of them
that
do
portion
not.
of the population is growing. It's a consistently growing portion of the population. Homelessness,
I haven't seen the
shelters.
data on that, but
I have. I've worked in this
okay.
for 22 years.
Okay.
Okay, it's growing.
Of
It's
course
growing.
it's
It's getting
growing.
out of control.
Well,
Out of control.
also,
now.
you can go back to the minimum wage thing. Why is it growing? Because more and more people can't afford to live on the wages that they're getting. So
but
they
many of
need
these people that come in, you talk about electricians that are busy and everything. I talk to people all day long that are electricians, carpenters, they can't get work.
That's
Okay.
right.
So
That's
Well, I don't know why they can't
Yeah.
get work. Is as like I said before, construction's booming. So if you
well, I
can't
don't,
get a
I
job
don't
in
see it around me.
construction,
There's a couple of new houses that were built down on my street a couple of years ago,
stuff
and they
going up
are
everywhere.
they're
You just need to look
vacant.
around. Just
No
look
one's
around.
buying them. There's a few new houses around here. The nice
Everyone
houses.
I know is escaping Long Island for the south. They're all moving
Right.
south. They're
As I said
getting out
before,
of here.
Long Island is also its own animal.
Should be its own
It is.
state. It really
Yeah,
should be.
it's the number one highest place to live, most expensive place to live.
That's
in the-
because
in
we
the- in the
subsidize
country,
everything
actually.
for Manhattan, for New
But
York City.
where in the country are you saying it's booming? Tell me where the construction's booming. You said you got friends-
Everywhere, even Long Island, but not as much as everywhere else. But
I haven't seen anything built on Long
Why
Island.
do our
Everything had a
roads
slight
look like the way
uptick
they
recently.
do?
sure,
Okay, but that's it, and part of it's due to the gas prices and all that other stuff. There's a little more money to spend. People-
absolutely.
but there's no big boom. There's no big, great.
It's not, I'm not saying it's a boom, but people are working. People are. It's out there. I mean, construction is definitely booming. You just
Oh, God.
that I agree with. I'm saying
I don't see it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
housing.
There's so many
Is that
people
alcohol?
Not so much.
Straight vodka.
Cannot get jobs.
You go into the city, every corner there's construction. Everywhere you go, you look at the skyline. There's 100 cranes going up.
Well,
They're
those are
everywhere.
unionized people that are really taking their time with projects. So let me tell you, because they're afraid to go out of work.
That's
Because I know a
right.
lot
They're
of them.
making
that's
money and they're
exactly
recirculating.
And
it,
they're
so.
and they're very afraid to go out of work again. So they spend half a day putting wood from here to there. They're working very slow at a snail's pace.
That's exactly right.
So I don't know if it's necessarily booming or what. I can't speak to the construction industry.
We're
I don't
in
know.
deep doo doo. This country is
Look at the camera when you
deep,
say that.
deep doo doo. But it's a fact.
Now the thing,
People are hurting.
I wanted to go back to, because he was talking about the racist Muslim thing. Now, what you might have heard about Trump saying that we should profile people that are Muslim. So you must think that that's racist. Like if you're in an airport, instead of spending time with Norma, like why don't we maximize our resources and just go for people that may fit a certain profile?
Well, that's a complicated area. You're right and you're not right. You can't just lump all these people together. That's a problem. That you just can't.
But you can. You
What
say
are you gonna
you
base- what
can't.
are you- how are you gonna do that? You're
can
gonna base
lump
them on
them all
what they
together.
look like?
When,
How are you gonna
that
work that
you
out?
have to if we're
You don't put
having-
religion on the
if we're having
passport,
all
so how are you
this
gonna know?
happening in our country and people,
That's
innocent
racial
people are getting killed.
profiling. That is racism.
Yeah, you
Let's put it
have
this
to
way.
stop
How do
it
you work that
any
out?
Not
way you
racism.
can.
If your passport has like 5,000 Ks and like vowels in there, yeah, you're going on that one and you're getting searched. And I'll tell you, I get profiled because they don't want to look like they're profiling. So like, who's the blondest, whitest girl? You go on that line. So I always go on that extra security line constantly. So I know what a pain in the ass it is, but if you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't be worried about it. Big
And
deal.
if you're against it, what's your solution?
Shouldn't have meddled with Iran in the 70s. We shouldn't have messed with Iraq. We shouldn't have done this. We shouldn't have done that. We created this Osama bin Laden. We created ISIS. It's blowback. It's constant blowback. It's always our fault. Like, we gotta stop messing around. If there's a hornet's nest and you go over there and you're sticking a stick in a hornet's nest, you're gonna get stung. And that's what we keep doing over and over.
Right,
We need to
and
stop.
we're not learning
Leave the
our
hornet nest
lesson.
alone and walk away. Let the hornet nest be hornets.
You would vote for a woman that really had a hand in creating ISIS. Like, Hillary Clinton, as her
Well,
time
there's a lot of things
Secretary
that
of
created
State,
ISIS, including
her time as Secretary of State gave rise to the Muslim Brotherhood, ISIS. I mean, her policies were instrumental in the rise of it. Obama, too. I mean, how do you just pull out all of the troops and leave no support there? We were in. And I know he wants to be the anti-war president that brought all the troops home. But you have to have support. Every
listen, it was a
general was
quagmire.
telling him that this
They made a
was bad.
move, didn't work out so great. It was a quagmire, but that's what quagmires are. You can't get out of them. Are we gonna be stuck there forever? You know what I mean? Like how long?
And
How long are we gonna do
and
that?
we're
The
open
economy
to
is
the
not as good
ground.
as it should be. You know
And-
why? Because all our money is spent on wars. If we stop spending money on
So
wars,
now
we
we're
have more money for
open.
us.
We're open to the enemy because we have no navy, no air force, no army. We have nothing.
That's
our
not true. Military
generals,
spending's gone
our
up,
generals
actually, over the
are
last 8 years.
disgusted. They're
Obama
ashamed
never
to
cut
be
the
called
military.
generals.
Okay, my former student, Vincent Bonacasa, who was just killed recently, a few months ago, his
Horrible.
parents wrote a lovely op-ed. He was on his 4th tour, where he was killed, unfortunately, by a roadside bomb. His parents wrote a lovely op-ed in Newsday about how his son didn't even have enough food to eat. So where are they spending all of this money? I'd like to know. The parents said they couldn't
Military
even get
industrial
basic,
complex,
basic-
tanks, planes, bombs.
basic supplies.
and they
these,
treat the
these-
soldiers
these
like crap.
troops don't have.
I listen. I don't disagree with how the military is treating their men. It's not right. I agree with that. But you know why? Because all the money is going into the big expensive toys, all the tanks, all the jets,
And the rules of
all the
engagement.
missiles and
Do you know
satellites.
that Obama, the rules of engagement,
Trillions.
you could see somebody about to shoot you and you are not allowed to discharge your weapon. You will be brought up and court-martialed unless they discharge their weapon at you first. So you could see the sniper with this little scope, scoping you out, and you can't do anything about it until that sniper shoots at you. It's ridiculous. Obama's decimated our military.
They ought to be on trial for treason, these people.
He should have been impeached a long time ago.
Are you kidding?
Ugh.
You don't agree?
No, absolutely not. I don't think anyone here is a military expert, so.
I'm not a
There's
military
no
expert, but I'm not
expert
an
here
idiot.
on anything.
I don't think any of us really know at this point what to do to undo this. How do you stop ISIS at this point? Does anybody?
You wipe them off the face of the earth.
Which
Well,
is
that
not an
needs to be done, yes.
Right, it's not an easy chore.
But they're all a problem. We created them, so it's our mess.
Yeah,
we
we're
gotta clean
Hillary
it up.
created
We're such a bad country. Why were we born in this terrible place? My goodness. People out there, don't you feel sorry? We are such a bad country.
I don't think that at all. I think it's the greatest country
we're
in the
not
world.
the greatest country in
I think
the
she's
world.
being sarcastic.
Oh, I know
my
she is.
goodness.
I know she is.
Oh,
I get it.
my
I speak
goodness.
sarcasm. Trust me.
Fluently.
I hear you loud and clear.
All right, new topic.
Okay.
This will probably be fun. Guns.
Oh yeah, I love guns.
Probably agree on.
Yeah, that's
You know.
he's got a very interesting way of thinking.
Really? So
he
you're-
does have an interesting.
What's your standpoint
I'm
on
a
it?
gun advocate. I think everyone should have guns. That's simple. You know,
Interesting.
I'm not against it. If you're a responsible adult and you're not crazy, why not? I mean, you know, if you're not hurting anybody, it's your business. You know, if I want to go shoot guns, I want to go shoot guns. Whatever. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, there's crazy people out there. They're a little easy to get in
Why
some
is
places.
everything
New York, not so much. Not easy to get.
Is
Not easy to get.
crazy?
What's that?
Well, there's a lot of crazy people out there.
Oh yeah, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, some crazy people.
Who determines who's crazy?
Their acts, their actions.
Yeah, I mean, there's
No.
there are
Oh, people's
ways. To,
actions.
I mean, we throw the word crazy around all the time. But
I mean, like the Newtown shooter, we can all agree he
They're
was
all crazy.
psychologically, I mean, insane.
Anyone
Right.
that
He
could
was
shoot groups of
criminally
people
No,
is
Right.
but
crazy.
this guy in Orlando was a murdering fool. That's what he was.
Absolutely.
Right, there, was,
murderer.
there doesn't seem to be any indication before this that he was crazy. He was never evaluated,
No.
right? He was
Well,
never,
I know
He was
there
a
are
murderer.
some things that he had done in his past, which, I mean, they're not
questionable
normal.
behavior,
They're
but I
not
mean,
normal.
he's never been clinically diagnosed with any sort of.
That we know of,
That
but
we
they
know
did
of,
put
yeah,
him in
right.
a
We don't know
special
that yet.
school
Right.
for very badly behaved children. They did put him in a special school, so he did exhibit some interesting behaviors.
But that
earlier
crazy
in
guy
life.
who shot all the little kids up in the
Oh,
school.
he was psychologically diagnosed. Yeah,
Right.
we don't know
That
if this
guy
guy
should
was
not have been
psychologically
walking the
diagnosed.
streets, and we knew it.
Yes. And
We
his
don't-
mother was very irresponsible
Right.
to have guns around with a child like
Mm-hmm.
that. His mother is to blame for that, to be honest with you.
Well, in this area, I do have a solution, and maybe they'll figure this out. And I think it should be like a car. A car could be a deadly weapon.
Right.
How do we settle that? Everyone gets a license. and insurance. Right? Everyone should have you want to buy guns? Well, you got to get a federal license and you got to be
But
insured.
it's not a constitutional right to drive a car, so that's
It's
where
not.
it differs.
It's not. But I mean, you gotta
talking
have
of
some
constitutional
sort of background check. You know, a crazy guy like that
We
shouldn't
agree
be
on
able
that,
to
I
walk
think.
into a store a week before, buy whatever he wants, and walk out. And it's a little too easy, especially in Florida. Florida's crazy.
Right.
You could
All true.
buy anything at any time in Florida.
The problem
they have
is
almost
like,
no laws.
the problem is with him. I mean, his wife obviously helped him plan this along
You
the
heard what they're
way.
trying to say about her now, right?
No, that she was.
That-
Oh, she's abused.
She was
she's
in special
mentally.
ed,
Oh,
she's mentally unstable.
get the hell out! She's a freaking idiot. She went with him. She knew what he was going to do.
She
went
agreed
to
with
buy
him, totally.
She bought things.
Of course.
And I think the brother-in-law was in on it. I think the father was in on it. I think a lot of people
Yeah.
were in
Which
on
does
this.
not hold water with your theory that he just was a gay-hating person.
Right,
That-
right. We're
This-
gonna
this
find
was-
that
out.
was his
Actually,
motivation.
Gay,
we're
I
gonna
feel like
find
it's
you're
out.
gay, don't be
Because right now, as it is, our government is redacting the words Allah, radical
Right.
jihad, and Islam. from
Obama
the-
explained
from the-
that
from the-
because
Yeah, he explained
Did you
it.
see
'cause
why?
he is
That's
What
what he
was his
said.
explanation?
his explanation was he does not use those words because that it basically it gives them what they want. It's letting them win when you say these
Oh, I
things.
This
need
guy's
because-
been
I need
all
a
over the
safe
news for an
space.
entire
I need
week.
a safe
Let me
space.
He's been all over the news.
Let me
His
finish.
name, everything that he's done, but we're not going to put
Yeah.
those words.
And they
He
tricked.
doesn't
You know what
use-
Instead of Allah,
Obama
they
did?
put
You know what
God.
Obama did? He lied. That's what he did when he said that.
Ooh.
He lied.
No, he didn't lie.
You think?
Oh, I need a safe
No.
space. I'm
Let me finish
offended.
what I
You
was
think he
saying.
Lied?
Yeah.
He has
To bet.
a very good motivation for why he doesn't do those things. It's because that's what they want. They want these crazy radical
Crazy
Islamist
men.
terrorists. They want a war with us.
But we
That's
knew
what they
his
want. They
motivation.
want a holy war against us. So when they hear the president saying things like that, it adds fuel to the fire. It makes people
But if
say,
you read the
"Yeah."
statement, if you read the statement with the words omitted,
Just
it's
watch-
not-
just
if you
listen,
read the
Obama
statement with
explained
the
it.
words omitted, it misleads the American people. The president should not be misleading the. If he came out and
Sorry,
said,
I
"We're
don't
releasing,"
agree with
if he went out before the words were released and said, "By the way, we're releasing the transcripts. There are some horrible things here. I want to omit them, and here's why." No, they released them with omitted words, and then when there was backlash, he had to come on and make up some crap.
But you know what that reminded me of?
That's
it
what
reminded
they
me of.
do in,
he put-
in these countries.
He put his attorney general,
Not
Loretta Lynch.
American.
He
That's
put,
not America.
He put Loretta Lynch on every Sunday show, sort of like he did with Susan Rice with Benghazi
right.
and a YouTube video,
That's right.
which was also a lie. Just like Fort Hood, the guy says Allahu Akbar, and it's workplace violence. I'm sick of this president, and I do not want Clinton in there because it's going to be 4 more years of the same old
Worse.
nonsense.
Worse.
It's going to be. Why are we so politically correct? Why are we afraid to say radical Islam? If we're differentiating it
He
from
explained
regular
why.
Islam.
He explained why, and I agree.
Why?
Watch the press conference.
Why?
He
I
explains
didn't.
it
I
exactly.
didn't explain
what I just
shit
said
to
because
me.
it adds fuel to the fire. That's what they want. That's how
The
they are.
fire
winning.
is blazing
It's
out of
part-
control.
Exactly, and that makes it worse.
It can't get much worse from that.
Just
can't
you
get
know,
any
when,
worse
when you
from
make
that.
when you edit this, put the clip of him
He
explaining.
will, and he will. He's
I
fair that
yeah.
way. He's fair
Yeah.
that way. And I don't want it to be
Definitely
like
put it
we're all
in. He
ganging
explains
up
it. He
on-
breaks it down, and he's
I mean,
100%
he has
right.
some.
He's
It's
100%
not like
right.
we're.
Yeah.
No.
Remember, I'm trying to stay neutral. I'm not doing a good job
No,
of it.
he has some very.
I can't quote him because I'm not seeing it, but
Interesting
he
views.
explained it perfectly.
He
and it
said
makes
it's
perfect
not.
sense.
To say it is not magical, but when you don't define the enemy, you don't. Then you can't adequately fight the enemy
right.
if you don't identify them. You have to keep identifying the enemy so we know who the enemy is. I mean, I think we can't even make up a plan because he wants to be this anti-war president that saved all of the troops from the Middle East, and we're doing nothing. We're letting ISIS win, and before this election, before the next president gets in there, it's going to be that much worse.
Why release
How many
the
more do we have
transcripts?
to go through?
With the words omitted.
I don't know. I haven't caught up on that actually. I've been out of the news.
I mean,
cycle
he's
for the last
saying,
2-3 days.
I pledge my
I haven't heard
allegiance
about
to blank.
Right.
Why release that sentence? Why give the American people part of it? What's the reason for giving
I guess
us...
I just get the
Hold on.
facts
The
out,
American
you know?
people have a right to know a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Either give us nothing and say it's confidential or we're keeping it secret. No, we're going to give you this, and we're going to clearly eliminate. It's like giving you a newspaper and cutting out certain articles, and you have to, and you're like, well, what are you keeping out of it? Like, Would you read that? I want the whole newspaper. What are you keeping from me?
Right. Well, it should all be out there. So
Of course.
I agree with that. It should all be out there.
They put
By the way, I
weird
just
stuff.
read today.
Daily
I
News,
saw an
actually.
interview
I
with
think it was
Charlie
Daily
Sheen.
News
He
today.
doesn't support Donald Trump.
Charlie Sheen?
People were posting this
You
like,
know
like
what?
it meant something.
You know what?
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie
Do you
Sheen
know?
has
Do you
all-
know
Sheen's
why?
endorsement.
Because he says that he gave him a wedding present.
Yes.
And it wasn't diamonds. They were
Right.
fake.
Oh
Right.
gosh.
Now look at this. You want to talk crazy?
We have to stop and
Yeah.
let Norma go because
Oh.
she's doing Kimmel tonight.
Oh.
So.
You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares. You may be king, you may possess the world.